Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time I am here with the deck profile of Phantom Knight, and I am here with,
Adrian Gonzalez.
and what'd you place in the YCS?
So I went 8-2 after 10 rounds of Swiss, and then I got top 32 and lost in top 32 to Sky Striker.
Alright, you just want to hop right into the list? Or do you want
Yeah,
to you want to give any shoutouts before we hop in?
we can do that afterward.
Alright,
So we got the obvious 3 torn scales, 3 boots, 2 cloak and gloves. So I decided not to play Greaves. Honestly, I've never played Greaves, never found a use for it. I always figured that like in every scenario that Greaves would like come up to like special summon from hand, I could just use Shade in those instances, since Cloak can also add Shade. Uh, but like 2 Cloak is fine. I initially started off with 3, just because like as you see, I cut Tour Guide, so I wanted like more like good normal summons. But ended up cutting it for like another extender, and 1 isn't enough. So after that we have junk forward, just a warrior extender to search off Rhoda. No Kagemucha Knight. Uh, it just really hard loses to sudden shift, right? Or what's it called now?
uh, Blackout.
Yeah, Blackout. Yeah, it just really hard loses to Blackout because you normal summon PK, special summon Kagemucha, and you get Blackout and you just lose. Like to play through Blackout, you really want to normal summon Torn Scales and then the PK, or like normal summon Torn Scales effect, send the PK, and then like that'll play through it. Because like Torn Scales plays through everything, so you just always want to normal summon that. Then we got the 2 psychics, Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker. E-Tele targets decent extenders. Kind of sucks that they summon in defense, otherwise you'd be able to do like really cool stuff with them. But they also like help play around their can, which came up. And then we have the 2 Spearoids, Terratop and Takatambor. So since I cut Tour Guide, I wanted to have like another like starter card. Like Terratop was like the next best starter card after Tour Guide, since it has Takatambor. But it's also like a really strong card because it lets you like pick how you want to combo. So like sometimes if I open like just Terratop, or like if my hand's a little weird, instead of sending Graph to summon Seer, I'll send Ancient Cloak to add Torn Skills to like play through Nib better. And it's also like in a really strong category of cards, which is a starter and extender. So like if you open well with Terratop, then it's like very strong, and then if you open just Terratop, it's like it's fine. Then so like that's what I use to like justify the Takatambor brick, which like honestly it just becomes like discard fodder if you open it, and then like sometimes if you open like a more extenders with it, you can make it live with like Levy or Appaloosa. Then we got the 2 BA bricks, Graph and Seer, all you need. They were great all weekend. Uh, then to my Fusion Destiny package, I decided to play 1 Denier and 2 Malicious. Uh, so Celestial and Dasher are like good, but like Dasher is basically like a vanilla for PK. Because whatever random card you draw for turn, like you always discard it or you normal summon. Because you always end your turn with like nothing in hand. And then like Celestial is +2 basically. So like that's fine. But like you're using like one good card and like one vanilla that you can never discard, which is very important to why I played 3 bricks. So you can never discard them. So like if you draw one of them, they're like always dead and you can't do anything with them until you activate Fusion Destiny. So like playing the 3 bricks meant that like I could draw one, discard it, and then I've actually used them to combo before. Where like I droplet, send Mally and Denier summon itself back as a level 3 extender and put back the Mally into the deck. So like it lets you do a really cool stuff like that. Then like obviously discard them in general for like Torn Scales and Unicorn. Then on the follow up, instead of being 2 random draws, they become 3 bodies on board to like make just go for game really easy.
Did you like that package over the Celestial Dasher package a lot more? Or did you find it that
Yeah.
like you were just like drawing too many bricks?
No, well, like you're gonna draw bricks, but the point was that like you can use all the bricks. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was my issue with like the Dragoon package is that you played 3 cards that if you drew, they were all blanks. Like with this, like I played like 1 extra brick to make it so that I can at least use them like throughout the turn.
Yeah.
And then next is the one random draw. So like this was last second. I cut Tsuchinoko from the list for the draw, just because Tsuchinoko was fine, but it was a little weird sometimes. Because as you'll see later on, like I play Prosperity, so it could be a little funky sometimes. And I also just wanted to have like 8 going second cards in my deck, so going from 7 to 8, and like I figured that I would have to cut an extender for that, and Tsuchinoko was like by far the worst extender.
Did you feel like you had enough going second cards for this event?
Yeah, for sure. Considering how many strikers I played, yeah, they just made me go first most of the time. Yeah. Uh, and then I guess to go along with the hand traps, I played 3 Imperm. Uh, Imperm is just the best hand trap of the format, probably. It like dodges a lot of things. It's like the most effective card versus like the bird combo. Like dodges called by nobody actually plays cross out, and then like you can't get talents even though nobody actually plays that either. Uh, then Rhoda, another starter card, extender. Uh, B Trooper Descent, just another extender. Called by is crazy. The one Dark Ruler goes in hand with the 3 droplet. Just as like board nullifiers to like break and like so Dark Ruler is really only good if you like draw it going second. So I wanted cards that were like flexible enough, but like nothing does what like Droplet does besides Dark Ruler. So I just like threw in a extra Dark Ruler. It was a 3-2 split, so like 3 Droplet, 2 Dark Ruler, and like as the format developed, with Barrett playing Oath, I cut a Dark Ruler for Imperm. And yeah, that's how we got down to 1 Dark Ruler. But like overall, I kept that ratio the same. And then 2 Italy, just more extenders. Very strong card to like play around cards like Nib and play through other cards that like pop and bounce. And then I got 2 Fusion Destiny next. So the reason is that originally it was only one, and then after like some testing, uh, there was a card in my deck being Foolish Burial that used to be in my deck. It was like underperforming, and then like I found myself always hiding it out because of Lancia being a threat. Like, not that the card is bad or anything, it's just like you don't want to play an extender that like loses to a card that stops most of your engine anyway. So I like played a few matches pretending that just the Foolish Burial was the Fusion Destiny with one of my testing partners, and then after a few hours, like I figured that playing at least a second Fusion Destiny was worth it, just to like increase some chances of seeing it, but like not playing too many, like not not like combo cards. Uh, Next is the Tree Droplet again, just board breaking cards, and then I played 3 Prosperity. So this used to be pretty popular among like PK players for like a little bit, and I wasn't on it at first. Then I started to run out of cards to like test. So I just said I'll give it a try. So I like started off with like one in my deck. You know, if I see it, it's fine. If I don't, it's whatever. I've been testing without it anyway. And it was good every time I saw it. So I was like, all right, I'll bump it up to 2. Played it at 2 for a bit. Then like once I cut tour guide, that was when all right, like I should be playing 3 if I'm not playing tour guide, just to maximize my chances of like not breaking. Because it becomes a starter card, it becomes board breaker, it can become technically anything in your deck, so that's always good. And then 3 Fogblade, 1 Wings, and 1 Shade. So you can play the deck with just 4 traps, and like I used to do that for a lot when I initially started playing the deck, and it worked out just fine. But I found myself losing a lot of games where like I needed a 5th trap to set off Rusty, and I just couldn't do that, obviously. So then I just said, all right, it's just another card to test. So I threw in Wings into my deck. I was like, it's either gonna be good, and I'll keep it in there, or it's gonna be really bad and it's just gonna get cut after a week. And it started out being okay, and then like I started to figure out like some more things that you can do, like with having 2 different trap names in your deck. So I started like incorporating it into like combos that required 3 card combos, and to just turn them into 2 card combos. So like it makes your comboing more efficient. Obviously, it gives you a better grind game with 5 traps. So to the side deck, uh, kind of want to be flexible because obviously it's a YCS. It's very diverse format, and yeah, you just really never know what you're gonna play against. So the only thing that I knew I wanted to be in my deck was uh 3 draw in total somewhere. So all 3 of them used to be in the side, and then one of them just got moved up to the main, so it gave me space for another hand trap in the side. So we got 2 Lancia, 2 Draw, 2 Veiler, and 2 Nib. Just like very flexible hand traps. I don't like Ash. It just gets like chain blocked a lot against like the matchups that you need it as an interruption, like Sword Soul. And then like the rest of these cards, since you're a combo deck that can really easily OTK, like I don't think Ash was like that good. Nib was fine, Dro was fine, Vader was fine, Lancia was fine, yeah. For spells and back removal, I had 2 Cosmic, a Twin, and a Duster. So Cosmic was for the mirror since a lot of people are playing Scythe. So it's just like a really clean way to just out the Scythe. It's like also like really good if you like draw it, if you sight it in going first, like versus back row decks versus like Sky. Because if like Mystic Mine you, it'll just be the Mystic Mine. So just very efficiently, just 1-for-1 the Mystic Mine, kill them the next turn. Uh, Duster is Duster. And then like the one Twin is like kind of random, but it used to be a Lightning Storm, which is more flexible. But I wanted to be able to like side in all 4 cards, you know, going first or second versus like back row decks, since I'm siding so little of them. So I just changed it to Twin as like another mass form of back row destruction. That also like synergizes with your deck anyway. And then next we got 3 floodgates, goes in match, any spell, and order. It's like order self-explanatory, very strong card. Any spell, it's pretty strong. It's really cool how it interacts with like DPE. That you can destroy itself and like something on your board. Flip any spell during the draw phase so that it can't like droplet your enforcer. It can droplet everything else, but like the enforcer lives. Then yeah, so like any spell order were pretty good. Goes in the match, I haven't had too much testing with it, but in theory it's like really strong. Cause like floodgates and combo decks are like kind of crazy. So yeah, Gozen was like a last edition, but probably still needs more testing. I don't know if I would not take it out yet, but yeah, needs more testing. So for extra deck, uh, Amaraj, was a YCS long event, so you kind of figure you're gonna break at some point. Like just drawing PKs, so I wanted to play Amaraj, and it also came up in like scenarios where I didn't break, where like I started off by like special, make Carabini. I get stopped at Rusty. Then I normal summon a cloak, make Amaraj, banish cloak, search boots, and like make Appaloosa, and I win the game. So it's pretty good. It was either gonna be that or the Link 5 Underworld Goddess, which also came up throughout the tournament too. So like it was like pick your poison. Which one will actually like cost you the game if you don't play? And I think Amaraj was probably the better call. Then Link Spider, who turns Shade into a effect monster. Sometimes it's prosperity fodder and helps you beat Nib. Next to Link 2's Cherubini, IP, and Anaconda. So Cherubini, your starter card. Anaconda gets you to Enforcer, IP, very flexible card. So one thing I didn't decide to play was the Dagda and the Scythe. Like it's really strong, but I kid you not, all tournament I got double to triple hand trap every time I went first. So I'm very happy I did not decide to put that in last second, because I was considering. And like, uh, so like the actual reason I didn't play it was because uh, my logic with like playing a combo deck is like I'm never actually going to full combo uninterrupted, and assuming that my opponents know what my deck does, that they'll hand trap me correctly to get like maximum efficiency out of their hand traps. I think I only full comboed once through like 2 hand traps, but that's because my opponent just didn't know what my deck did. So yeah, no complaints of not playing deck there, sorry. Then Rusty. Rusty is Rusty. Pretty good card. Unicorn. So you use Unicorn a lot to like help like break boards whenever you go second, or like if your opponent like Dark Riddler droplets you on the crackback, you can use Unicorn to like start breaking their board. Access code, honestly really just used it to like OTK people. Never really used it to like out back row cards this weekend. Although normally it does. But yeah, it was good. Next is Appaloosa. Card's crazy. Especially when you make it with IP. I had a few people try to destroy it with card effects, and I was like, sure. And then Levy adds back recursion. Pretty good. It's a win for Takatomo. That's fun. Double Break Sword, Raiders Knight, and Rhapsody. So, like, Break Sword is like a really good card, right? And then like it summons 2 PKs, and then you destroy a card. With Rusty, you destroy another card. Then so after you make them level 4s, it like started off as like a joke because I was running out of like things to test for the extra deck, but I put in Raiders Knight for a little bit. I was like, again, with like Goza match, not Goza match, with like wings, like if I test it, if it comes up enough, like I'll keep it in, and if it doesn't, it just gets cut for like something else. And it just kept coming up more and more. So popping 3 cards was really good. And then Rhapsody's crazy. It banished a lot of raids this weekend. A lot of raids. Yeah. It like comes up in the mirror too. Everybody's playing DPE right now, so you just banish their DPE. Yeah, and unironically, the effect to make XYZ gain 1200 attack came up this weekend to go for an OTK with access code and levy. I was like, nice. I don't have to overextend. Yeah, so like that forced him to like nib early since he was gonna die anyway, and then I just made Anaconda and summon DPE. Like I won the game from there. And last card DPE. Card's crazy. If your deck can play it, probably should be playing it. Probably the only deck that doesn't like absolutely need it, like Bird. Then even the Sword Tiny deck, like they can play fine without it. I don't think it's needed in that deck. Yeah. Any question?
Did you like playing 42 cards in the deck?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I used to play like 44, and like I don't know. You want to see your side cards, so I like forced myself to cut it down to 42. But I don't know. Like if I had to cut something, it would have to be like an extender and like a going second card, which is very pointless because at that point, like you're decreasing the chances of seeing a starter, and you're also decreasing chances of seeing a going second card. But that was the whole point of you cutting down your deck to 40. So like there is no point in doing that.
You want to do any shout outs before we hop off here?
Yeah. Shout out to you, DB Grinder.
Hey,
Thank you for the
appreciate you.
Shout out to Midwest Gaming. Shout out to Joe and Caleb for being bozos. Shout out to YGO Daily and I'm sorry to the other sponsors, but I have no idea who they are.
It's like MetaMats.
Yeah, Madam.
I don't know who the other ones are, but shout out to all of them.
Yeah, shout out to all of you guys for sure. And yeah, if you have any questions for like the viewers, just leave them down in the comments. If I have time, I'll answer them.
All right. And thank you for doing this deck profile with me. I appreciate you. And the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day.